What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all know this is recency bias radio. We're no one is safe from criticism. But did y'all enjoy the past 2 hours of history that was made? Or as I like to call it, the last two HOHs, hours of history. Welcome to Recency Bias Radio for a special 15th Final Rant to end a great season, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is how you do a finale to end a great season. You put us on edge. You make us think, will Ricky do it? Will Ricky not do it? I was thoroughly up until a certain point, I was thoroughly entertained, but we're going to get into all of that, ladies and gentlemen. But let me go ahead and complete this introduction. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Recency Bias Radio. I am your humble host, Dave Smith, Pretty Boy Smitty, Protocol Paul, Pearl Game Ultra, Smith Dog Trill, ADOS Thanos, all of the above on that ISET test and that ACT. You know what it is. And man, when I tell y'all, I started my channel one day and I had a vision. I said, maybe if I go ahead and speak on the elephant in the room, it will expedite the process to creating more change within the game. Now, I'm not going to give myself credit for a black winner or nothing. I'm not that egotistical as my haters would love to paint me as. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I can't help but feel connected with Tamar for the rest of my life now because of the love I have for the game, because of my love that I have for her game. And that is why I'm entitling this 15th rant to end the rants of Celebrity Big Brother US Season 2, which we all can agree, this was a legendary 15-pack of rants, okay? A standard season usually is about 30 rants for me based off of the trend that I set in BB20. So to have about half as much with a season that is sped up and fast forward, I think I gave y'all as much content as I possibly could. But at the end of the day, I am just so excited. This is why I call this episode TaMartyrdom, ladies and gentlemen, because at the end of the day, Tamar was someone who was always misappropriated. She was someone who was always, people didn't really understand her. So they just wrote her off as someone that could never get the votes. You know, everybody was so willing to write her off as somebody who would have a bitter jury. Hell, even I did for a second. Even I did. There's no way she could get Tom's vote after that, unless she's at the end with Ricky. I made it a point of emphasis to say, if Ricky is dumb enough to be at the end with, but at the end of the day, Ricky would have been at the end with anyone, he would have lost. I think we jumped to that conclusion a couple of rants ago. So, you know, Ricky went, he probably had one of the biggest rebrands in a 30-minute window I think I have ever seen in Big Brother history. He went from being the guy everyone was ready to attack from a black community perspective, because to open up the window a little bit, because you know Big Brother, they don't tell y'all what's going on truly on the feed, you know. So I'm going to fill y'all in on what was going on and why this was such a tension-packed, tension-filled finale, ladies and gentlemen. So let me run you through this. Essentially, last night, everything is going to plan, okay? All of a sudden, Dina decides for herself, I'm going to begin campaigning all of a sudden. Now, she's crashing and burning, just like Ricky did with his final HOH speech, but that's neither here nor there. But she was crashing and burning. She was trying to convince Lolo and Ricky while she should stay over Candy, but the only point she could truly drive home about why Candy should go was essentially the fact that, well, Candy is going to pick Tamar and Tamar is going to pick Candy. And now in hindsight, the edit does make a little bit of sense because since Ricky made that deal with Tamar, it made sense for him to want to get Candy out over Dina. That way Tamar had no one else to take and he had no one else to take. But most importantly, if Tamar would have won the final HOH, she had no one else to take but Ricky based off the deal they made and based off the fact that Candy wasn't there to take. So Ricky really didn't have no choice there. And now that he's kept his word with her to keep her for the final two when he lost to her, he was able to save some face here, ladies and gentlemen. But I was prepared to unload the clip on this dude. I was prepared. Every time I'm about to unleash the beast this season, something happens and it goes my way. I can't explain it. I mean, Jonathan Bennett tonight, I mean, you could tell he didn't get enough TV time this season, so he made tonight all about him. You know, it's funny. The same people that hated Swaley, they upstaged the finale, Dave. Shut your bitch ass up. He proposed and he was an alpha male. Shut your bitch ass up. Tyler ain't doing that shit, but that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, you see what just happened, you know, homeboy Jonathan Bennett, he tries to upstage everyone and make it all about him. I mean, he's cracking lame jokes left and right. I mean, it was like, what the hell is this shit? Okay. And you could clearly tell he had a huge problem with Ricky, because during Ricky's speeches, I mean, this dude, John, had absolutely no class. I mean, he was making faces. I mean, they were zooming in on John specifically to see his reaction with some of those shots. And I just feel like he proved why he had to go first in this finale, because it's too much about John Bennett. It's way too much about John Bennett, okay? And it's funny. The same channels that didn't give Tamar no credit for any of her gameplay, okay? These are the same channels. The only thing you see on Twitter from them is unanimous vote. Then after that, I hate these commercials. Oh, so you ain't got nothing nice to say about her, huh? You ain't got no congratulations. You ain't got none of that hot shit to say. You ain't got none of that nice shit to say. So you just gonna complain about the fucking commercials? Bitch, this ain't the Super Bowl. No one checks for a Big Brother finale to watch commercials anyway. So why are you even complaining about that? You feel what I'm saying? That showed all of us that you are so stubborn. You know, you're not stubborn enough to go and reach for a black guy to all of a sudden be your co-host the morning after you getting shitted on by Black Twitter. You know, you're not too stubborn for that bullshit. But you too stubborn to give the queen the credit she deserves. Ain't that a bitch? You feel me? And it's funny because these same people love Tyler, but when you break it down, Tamar played Tyler's game better than Tyler. Ooh, no one wants to get into that, Dave. She played both sides, coach, and got a unanimous victory off playing both sides, coach. Who do you know that played both sides in Big Brother history to win unanimously? Besides Dr. Will. What, did Dr. Will win unanimously? Was that a unanimous? No, they even said the only person, they said the last person to win unanimous was Dan. I don't know. Comment below. Did Dr. Will win unanimously? I can't remember, but I remember everyone hated Nicole. So that would make sense. But also Hardy hated Will. I can't see Hardy voting for Will. And that's where I believe it wasn't unanimous. But that doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, this is why the finale, this is why the final two had to be two black people. Do you honestly believe that would have been a unanimous vote? If there was anybody with any splib in them, anybody, put it this way, if Lola was at the end next to either one of them, that vote split because she got a little white in her, okay? But when you got two pure black people, okay, now you got to judge their games. And that's all we wanted, y'all. We just wanted them to be judged off the content of their gameplay, okay? And Tamar was smart. Okay, she apologized for the mistake she made. And when they asked her about the best game move she made, she was very decisive and very specific. Whereas Ricky, he wasn't specific. He basically said, my biggest game move was staying loyal to my people. That's not a big game move, Ricky. That's something, that's not a tangible move. That's not something people go, oh yeah, that's something that's hard to think of. No, that's something even a bad player does. That's called coasting. That's not a great move. And see, this is where the disconnect got created. And I think it was very interesting how Tony Mooch, a guy who clearly got exposed tonight for not watching the game at all, okay, because he didn't really have any takes on anyone that had to do with their gameplay, okay? Everything he said was so vanilla about everyone. But did you notice, though, how Julie asked him about all the black people first? It was really weird. Like when you break down this edit, the edit felt like they were telling us it's Ricky and Tamar at the end. But because the live feeders, like we are, because we felt a certain type of way about what was going on feeds, how feeds were cut off abruptly as Tamar was complaining about how Candy was being treated, we felt like, oh, the fix is in. Something's going to happen to guarantee Dina is in the final two. Now, luckily for all of us, that didn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why we need to celebrate tonight. My haters can't tell me shit, coach. And if you see any of these coon-ass channels trying to celebrate a black winner, no, tell that motherfucker to sit down. You chose your side, coach. Celebrate that Tom AFP and sit your bitch ass down. All right? Let's call it a spade tonight. All right? You can hashtag that shit. All right? And TaMartyrdom, I truly believe this is the perfect title. And to keep it all the way a buck with y'all, I had this title. I had it tucked away for a while. I said, I'm going to hold on to this because Tamar is going to do something to allow me to use this title and for it to be at its most impactful. I feel like after what we witnessed tonight, okay, not only are we going to have young black children be able to watch this season growing up, because see, we grew up watching this game and we never saw this, okay? So all we could do was hope, maybe one day. But now the new generation, they see it's possible. And that's why this is so important. And I feel like a lot of people got caught up in all of their personal vendettas with all these other people that don't have nothing to do with the game. And they lost sight of the fact that a black winner is great for this game. It's great for the talent pool of casting. It's great for everyone involved. Okay. But BB21, I'm letting y'all know, we're all going to suffer for this. So that's why we need to celebrate this shit now and enjoy it. Hell, BB Can, we might suffer for this. And that's not me shitting on BB Can, but at the end of the day, we know that I believe Robin Cass does both shows, right? She does both shows, casting. Now, it's one thing to cast celebrities. It's a whole nother thing to cast a new talent pool of people. Now, she's been hitting on BB Can. So I'm not going to knock her on BB Can, but I'm very skeptical now because things are going too well for us now. Okay. You know, if you were to tell me yesterday that Ricky would pull that move, keep Dina, and then evict Dina and Lolo, knowing he would lose Lolo's vote and maybe by proxy losing Eva's vote, which he did, by the way, I would have said there's no way. There's no way there's no way. He has to go out next to Lolo. If you lose, at least I kept my word. But if you take Lolo out, take Tamar with you thinking, oh, she's the explosive black woman, I'm going to win. You feel me? That's why it blew up in Ricky's face 100%. Because at the end of the day, people can accept Tamar for who she is because at the end of the day, Tamar, her emotions on her sleeves. And you even saw certain people voting, admitting like, you know, I'm basing my vote more on heart and not on deals. You know, when I heard that from Lolo, I said, oh, that's for Tamar. You know, I even went on Twitter and said, a bitter Lolo? Could this mean a winner Tay-Tay? like real talk. As things were unfolding, I started going, we got this shit in the bag. They done fucked up, coach. They done let us in the winner's circle. I'm so happy. I'm not only happy for black superfans, I'm happy for the casuals that just watch for Tamar. Do you know we just gained so many extra fans of the game now because of this? Now, the only thing they remember from this show is a black winner. They're going to come back and they're going to refer more people to the show. This is great for the show. And this is exactly why I didn't agree with all of these people that thought it wasn't a bad idea for Dina to be saved for the Final Four. In my opinion, production, you have to be some of the most insensitive people, just racially insensitive people, to push for Dina to make the Final Four just to make the Final Four. You know, I felt that was some of the most insensitive shit. When you are on the precipice, yeah, we made history tonight, but understand, ladies and gentlemen, we could have made more history tonight. And I have a feeling someone told Candy she couldn't talk about the elephant in the room of race because you notice in her speech, she was in tears a little bit because she knew what was coming. So I don't know why Julie asked her if there was a blindside or not. She's crying. Of course she knows she's going home. But see, this is why I don't fuck with Julie sometimes because I feel like her questioning, she shows what side of the fence she's on sometimes with how she leads the questions, but that's neither here nor there. But in terms of Candy, though, you know, notice how she went out of her way to say, we can make history tonight by me surviving the most evictions in Big Brother history. I want Julie to be able to say my name every season in Big Brother US from this point further. You know, I appreciated that, but that also told me that deep down in Candy's heart, she wanted to speak on another elephant in the room. She wanted to. And that's exactly why once she started talking about we can make history and she got done talking about what she mentioned, which wasn't race, all of a sudden, it was almost like there was tension you could cut with a knife in the room. Did y'all notice that? It's something I noticed, okay? It's something I noticed. And y'all know me, I decode the matrix, baby. I see things most people don't see. You know, and this is why this is the greatest payoff for a channel like this, for a fan base like y'all, for a family like us. This is the best possible payoff because we've been in these trenches fighting. We've been in these trenches trying to prove something. And people kept telling us, no, the stuff you're saying ain't true. You're race baiting. We don't see it, bro. Hell, after Tamar just won, we still got people saying, I can't believe Ricky didn't win. He played the game. It felt like Tamar just reacted to the game. Now, mind you, these are the same type of people that love KC's game, though. You see what I'm saying? So understand, ladies and gentlemen, understand. Okay, they will love you. They will champion you if you check the boxes that they want you to check. You feel me? It's not just about just gameplay. See, all these analysts, they want to make it seem like they're game bots. But no. You're bringing your life experience into your analysis as well. But You just don't know, you just don't have enough experience with the other race of people to truly give your analysis more, to dive deeper into what your analysis means. So instead, what people do is they speak in generalizations and they try to dodge the bullet itself. That's why they invite black people on their show, because they know if they didn't have a black person on that show to protect them, people would have came in and fried your ass, and that would have impacted your brand. So instead, what you do is you go, now, let's be real. They could have had this planned out for a long period of time to bring a black person on. All I'm saying is the timing of it feels way too convenient. That's all I'm saying. And to use that brother specifically, and I don't have no problem with that brother, but what I wish the brother would have did was decline that shit. Now, hold your own nuts. You're not finna use me as some shield to keep you from getting this smoke when you've been disrespecting my sister as well. I would have preferred him to take that route, but you know what? I can't knock you. Okay? Do you? But at the same time, though, I still have the right to feel the way I feel. And I feel like there's a lot of people who feel the way I feel about it. You know, all of a sudden, oh, let's have a black person on when I'm feeling that heat, you know, but when I'm not feeling the heat, let's have a whole bunch of white girls on that don't even watch feeds like that. I'm just saying. But we're not going to make this about no huge race war, ladies and gentlemen. They're the ones mad tonight. We're happy. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I will be taking questions. This is truly a celebration, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I am in no way, shape, or form mad, but I do want to get to these notes because there are a few things I noticed that I may not have mentioned in this cold opener. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Did you guys peep game on how production went out of their way to remind the audience that 4 white men went home to start the game in the intro clip? I was worried about this immediately because I felt like they were trying to remind people, hey, Dina's got 4 votes. You feel it, dig me? And they went out of their way to kind of make Dina seem like the underdog throughout the first hour of the episode. And frankly, if anyone's been following the feeds, we all knew she was the favorite, not the underdog. But if you just go based off numbers, you would assume that, right? But yeah, so that's one thing I noticed, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing I noticed is, you know, Lolo, it was almost like production was slowly but surely setting Lolo up to be the scapegoat if Dina won the game, because they went out of their way to show so many scenes of Lolo basically being outwardly, well, not outwardly, let's say she was being overly dramatic when it came to Candy. Like, for instance, did you notice during the HOH competition where they were bats flying back and forth, did you notice when Candy shit tumbled, the camera pans to Lolo and she's cracking up? You know, little edit tricks like that is meant to scapegoat somebody, okay? And it takes production's hands out of it. You know, it takes the blame out of them, even though they were the ones who pulled them into that room to convince them to go ahead and flip on Candy. And really, Candy's who I feel the most sorry for in this situation. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I wanted Tamar to win that AFP was because I told y'all I thought Candy had a better chance to win the game, right? Well, now that we saw that Tamar clearly swept it, I don't know. Maybe Tamar would have swept Candy too. I don't know. Because clearly they're respecting her gameplay. You can't say this is anything but respecting gameplay, because the gameplay side of it is the only side of it Tamar would appear to beat Ricky in, because in terms of fights, in terms of instigating, in terms of just doing a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff, it would be much more easy to paint that target on Tamar and have bitterness towards her. So for these people to put their egos to the side and reward Tamar, I want to salute the jury as well. Okay? I was wrong about you, but to be fair, this was 2 black people, so maybe I was right, but I just didn't get the opportunity to see I was wrong. I mean, yeah, exactly. I did say that correctly. But at the end of the day, though, I want to salute the jury for being professional jurors tonight. That was a professional vote. Okay, professional. I was just shocked Dina didn't vote for Ricky. Ricky turned you into a new woman, coach. Okay. And did you notice how the catfish dude is already doing an investigation? It's almost like Dina planted that seed just so she could have an episode on MTV to be with her daughter, but that's neither here nor there. Hey, I'm not mad at you. Whatever you do post the game after a black winner is on you, okay? But if it affects a winner being black, then we gonna have a problem. So at the end of the day, we don't got no problem. You feel it, dig me? But yeah, so yeah, that's something I just noticed, you know, with Lolo laughing when Candy lost the HOH comp, or when her stuff reset it during the HOH comp. That's something that I noticed pretty quickly. Yeah, it's so good to see so many people happy, man. I'm getting DMs from people saying they're happy. This is great to see. I mean, let's be real. Any crime that happens, it's not gonna be black folks if they Big Brother fans for the next few days. I can guarantee you that much. And it's All-Star Weekend this weekend. Trust me, black folks, they gonna enjoy themselves for the next 7 days. It's gonna be no crime in the neighborhood. I'm just letting y'all know. Anything that pop off, you gonna have to blame somebody else for it. It ain't gonna be us, okay? Because we finna enjoy this, coach. And we deserve to enjoy it, coach. And it's just so funny, man. Like, all of these people are butthurt over this ending, but y'all would have really preferred an ending that included Dina winning? Do you understand that your hate for black people runs so deep that you would rather see a player that doesn't deserve the win just to guarantee black people still haven't? Do you understand how we can quickly connect those dots, coach? Why are you okay with that being your mantra? And don't y'all understand that you make Tamar into even more of a martyr the more you hate her, even though she's the queen already, coach? She is Khaleesi. She is the dragon queen. If you want the smoke, she will bring the fire, hell, and brimstone your way, bruh. She literally danced at Tom leaving and still got his vote. If that ain't some of the most G shit. Now, let's be real. Tom's hate for Ricky allowed her to dance his ass out the damn crib and for him to still vote for her. But this once again proves my point that Tom's hate for Ricky runs deep. All these people tell me, oh no, he doesn't hate Ricky that much, Dave. It's a figment of your imagination. You want him to hate Ricky. All right, bro. You notice how Tom got the first question? You notice how he was the one that immediately asked it towards Ricky? Come on, man. And let's be real. It felt like Tom winning AFP was a consolation prize. It felt like Tamar won both, and they was like, hey, all right, let's not try our luck here. Motherfuckers, we cool with this. Let's just let Tom get hit. He spoke with Grodner. This 25 is for him now. You feel me? It felt like that was the decision, all right? Look. He can get that 10% as long as Tamar get the whole 100, coach. As long as she get the whole 2/5. You feel me? And it was just such a good moment, man, to see the Braxtons come on stage, celebrate with her, to see her son come on stage. Y'all don't understand. This is so groundbreaking, man. Like, this is so groundbreaking. But this is exactly why we need to cherish this moment. We need to record this episode on a VHS tape, a Blu-ray rip, something, because they gonna delete the tapes of this shit. They gonna act like this didn't happen 10 years. No, let me stop. But at the end of the day, we do need to take this in and enjoy this, y'all, because it probably will never happen again. Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, and it'll probably take another 21 years somehow for us to see this type of greatness from an all-around level of gameplay. Candy, memorable gameplay that will stand the test of time. In fact, I think on the rewatch, she'll come off as an even better player knowing where she got to after where she was. Tamar, goes without being said. Ricky, one of the greatest rebrands in finale history. He went from, and let's go ahead and speak on his white wife. Did y'all notice how she came on stage and jumped on him like it was Tarzan and what was that about, coach? Like, ain't y'all both in y'all 50s or something, coach? Like, no disrespect, but it felt like she was marking her territory a bit right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, she wrapped her legs around him, coach. It looked like some X videos type shit. Let me stop. But I'm just saying, though, for they copyright strike, my boy. No, but for real, though, no disrespect, but I just thought that was weird. I didn't think that was very classy. That's what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's a little weird to me. But maybe y'all noticed it as well. But is there any other things I noticed? Yeah, I thought the edit in the first hour was pretty bad. It seemed very rushed. The Tony Mooch scene, if you can save us the bullshit on that. I mean, to be honest with y'all, CBS, I think y'all should make these finales an hour and a half, whether that be Survivor or Big Brother. You know, make it more jam-packed and concentrated. You know, okay, you miss another 30 minutes of advertisement time. But honestly, I feel like that 2 hours is such a marathon to sit through, man. It's a marathon. Okay, especially for the feeds watchers who know the first hour just about already. It's really a marathon. And that's why a lot of people decided to watch the challenge for the first hour, then jump into Big Brother for the second. So I understand where the strategy came from. I plan to go ahead and check out the challenge after this, after we're going ahead and done with the rant and stuff. But yeah, y'all know this was first priority. I had to make sure they didn't screw Candy and Tamar tonight, because it felt like they were plotting it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so another thing that I felt very bizarre, y'all, was how Dina wasn't surprised Ricky evicted her when he just saved her over Candy. Like, that was bizarre. For her to tell Julie that made me think that her only purpose to serve was to make the Final Four, to keep people watching that weren't black, in fear that if it was an all-black Final Four, people would change the channel. I mean, that's the only reason I could see this making any sense, because otherwise, isn't this a little bit of over-engineering that we talk about in the game? Like, what's the point of making sure Dina goes out one spot shorter than before? Like, what's the difference in the outcome for you, CBS? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, now for Ricky's game, I see it. But for Lolo's game, I think she's really stupid, because I think Lolo deciding to evict Candy out of personal vendetta for Eva is what led kind of sort of to Eva and Lolo being more butthurt by Ricky's betrayal. Because when you think about it, Lolo's entire focus is all on Candy to get retribution, whereas Ricky wouldn't mind if Lolo left during his own HOH. And I'm willing to bet y'all, based off of the type of rhetoric Ricky was using this week, Eva already decided if he didn't take Lolo with him to the end, he was canceled. Now, I'm also willing to bet during commercial break, her and Lolo came to some type of an accord, because I just can't see this making sense for this to be an entire unanimous vote if this isn't a situation that is a reverse Danielle Reyes. And see, even though Tamar won this season, I am still going to be the guy right now telling you all, we need to make sure the next Celebrity Big Brother US season has a type of sequester. Because this is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you got Lolo out here campaigning on Twitter, but CBS and Big Brother and production suspiciously hid all of Candy's tweets from social media. So, I mean, from that example alone, you see that they were clearly trying to help Lolo get jury votes and not trying to help Candy in the eyes of the jury. See, just a quick example like that shows you how hard it was. And see, I think Tamar deserves even more credit to win under these circumstances, ladies and gentlemen, because if Big Brother is working this hard just to guarantee these minor things, and Tamar can outthink them and outwit them this well, to the point where Ricky was okay with getting rid of Candy, but he was still completely okay with still getting rid of Lolo. I mean, when you break it down, Ricky completely shattered his entire jury management tonight. Alone, he shattered it. Now, you let Tony Mooch tell the story. He already shattered it a week ago, And see, that's the thing. If Tony Mooch doesn't understand the game and hasn't been watching feeds, why was he confident enough to make that comment over a week ago? That lets you know that these house guests were coming together and speaking about, whether that's a group chat, whether that's I don't know, whether they're using an app on their phone or something. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're coming together and they're deciding that, all right, well, if Ricky's there, we're not giving him a vote. And it came to fruition tonight, proving that what Tony Mooch was saying was true, also proving that they had their minds already made up on Ricky, but not so much on Tamar, which is another example of how great her game is. Because for someone to be as explosive as she is, to deal with the first one in curse, to also deal with the fact that she had 2 twists, didn't use them. And let's be real, she had a veto, didn't use that one. And I think her not using that veto, like I said, is the only reason why Ricky made the deal with her to go to Final 2 in the first place. So this all goes back to Tamar's gameplay. And that's why she said one of her biggest moves was not using veto, because by not using the veto, it solidified her relationship with Lolo and Ricky again after Eva was gone. Then it became a fake 3 versus 2, when in reality, Tamar was in the middle working with either 2 when she felt necessary, right? So she really just pulled a masterclass tonight. She pulled a masterclass, okay? Usually the only type of player who can pull off this type of I'm in the middle, it's like a nerd kind of archetype. Usually that's the only ones that could do it, because usually they're not really aligned at the hip with someone really socially. Usually they're like a +1, like we saw with Vanessa Russo getting yoked, okay? We saw that. You see what I'm saying? So Yeah, 100%, man. I think Tamar doesn't get enough credit for the gameplay she exhibited. You know, and see, that's my problem. You know, it's not only a sexist thing, because I feel like if a guy were to play this way, we would be, well, not we, no, because I think we would have respected the gameplay regardless, because Tamar didn't get production's help as a pet, right? I think we would respect it anyway. But I'm talking about the other side, the side that gives Tyler credit for having all of the help in the world, but then doesn't give Tamar credit for playing the same game with none of the help. You know, you have to ask yourself, if you're not racist, then your logic is just flawed from an analysis perspective, because you're not making sense and you're contradicting yourself. Okay. If Lifeguard Jesus is a good player with that overpowered twist, with those pregame alliances in an all newbie season, mind you, in a 90-day game, if that is good gameplay, then Tamar is God tier gameplay. Yeah, I said it. If that's good, what you guys are calling Lifeguard Jesus game, if that shit's good, the type of gameplay that needed Rockstar to clue him in on what he did wrong, that guy. When did Tamar need someone on the other side to clue her in on shit? Huh? She knew the shit before they even told her. That's how good her game was. So don't compare the two, coach. Because it's like I say, the reason why it's so hard for a black player to win is because a black player has to play twice as good to get to the end. You feel me? And see, I felt like this was like one of those finales where we wasn't going to get our way. I thought Lolo was going to somehow pull out the victory at best. I thought Dina was going to pull it out at the worst. I thought that was going to be the outcome. I thought Ricky was going to lie to Tamar's face. We was going to see a bitter Tamar. We was going to see an emotional Candy. And it would have just been psychologically the wrong thing for black super fans to have to deal with coming into a 4 out of 5 black Final 5. You know, but we got what we deserve, ladies and gentlemen. We got what we deserve. You know, I feel like if a black winner would have not came from this season after 4 straight white guys left the game, then you would have had a right to say these black players are overrated. But because they pulled it off while fighting against production, you have to tip your hat off to them. If you don't, we know you're on code. We know you're full of shit. And when BB21, BB Can 7, when any of these new seasons start up, we're not going to check for your opinion anymore, because you're not consistent. When someone is white, all of a sudden, the little shit they do gets mentioned all the time by you. When they're black, nah, not so much. You feel me? And that's a problem. We need consistency from everybody. Everyone tells me, Dave, you don't give enough credit to the white players. Hey, I give credit to the white players all the time. But I'm not going to kiss their ass just because you are. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of channels right now who's going to play it off like, oh, yeah, because they want them views, right? Yeah, Tamar, yeah. You know, they're going to have all of the tags ready and shit. They're going to be ready, okay? But we going to know it's just like they had fake outrage. It's going to be fake celebration, okay? And that's my point, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of people showing their true colors, and they're not happy at all. But those are the ones that are just beyond butthurt, okay? Those are the ones that said BB20 was a top 3 season. Understand, they're dealing with PTSD from accepting trash and calling it fucking creme brulee, okay? So they're dealing with their own problems over there, okay? These motherfuckers is eating ramen noodles and thinking it's Alfredo. I'm just being honest. Coach, okay? They're tweaking, all right? But yeah, what was another thing I wanted to mention, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into questions? Because at the end of the day, I really want to answer questions. I think y'all are amped and y'all are pumped right now. Let me make sure there's nothing else that I want to discuss before we get into questions, so I can give you all of my thoughts. No, we mentioned that. Yeah, I'm on my way, ladies. And another thing I wanted to mention. Why did Tony Mooch compare Ricky to an assassin? I didn't think that was a good categorization of a black man, personally, especially when he's out here giving people the inside scoop on Trump. I just didn't like that. I thought that was in bad taste. But I feel like if you didn't think he had a chance to win, calling him an assassin couldn't have came with a positive connotation. No, I mean, that was just something I peeped game on that I thought was unnecessary, to say the least. But outside of that, he pretty much played it down the middle with everyone else. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am definitely ready. I am on my way to take questions. We're going to hear what your thoughts are, okay? I say let's take 20 questions tonight. Why not? You feel me? Like, let's get it popping. Hold on. Let's see. Where is my... I don't even see the video. Hold up, Coach. Where are we? TaMartyrdom. I feel like that's such a clean title. Like, there's no way anything else it pops up in the search engine. Nope, it doesn't. Okay, bet. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it popping. Romeo Dude play. Oh, it's lit in this chat. Dang, we deep. You know it's some of them Death Row fans. They low-key stands. Low-key, I know he probably got some black fans left that know he won't be celebrating this shit that's here to try to celebrate with the real ones. They're like, we can't say shit though. But yeah, let's celebrate in peace. Let's celebrate in secret. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, look, we'll celebrate with y'all too, damn it. We just ain't gonna celebrate with that Oreo. You feel it, dig me? Let's get it popping. Camera needs to be up a bit. I was just trying to showcase the t-shirt. I wanted y'all to see the Dave Smith as I opened it up. All right. Is that high enough? Is that high? Is that Method Man high or is that Wiz Khalifa high? Let me know. But yes, hold on. What was the question I was about to answer? My bad. I was about to get into a good ass question. Okay, Romeo Duplay. Do you think Ricky ruined it with his answers to jury? Absolutely, Romeo. Absolutely. See, Ricky. What doesn't make sense to me about Ricky's game is if he was just going to do that shit, he should have went to the end with Candy. I mean, go to the end with someone who you can at least guarantee you played a better game than, you know, but for you to cut the head off of your alliance member, okay, to take the woman y'all kicked out of your alliance to pivot with Tom and Kato with, you had to have known Lolo being someone that is so vengeful. I mean, Lolo, she right after she got eliminated, she went from saying, well, I knew he wasn't going to save me because I didn't make a deal with him to be in Final 2. She went from saying, I still think he's going to beat Tamar to like 45 seconds of thinking about some more fuckboy shit to saying, you know what? I think Ricky's going to lose. And then all of a sudden, Julie was like, hold on. I don't want you to tell us who you're voting for now. So we need to understand that Lolo, she has like a 40-second period. I remember it was a girl named Summer Roberts from the OC, a great TV show that was on Fox, right? And she used to call it rage blackouts. That's what Lolo be having, okay? Where at any moment, shout outs to Seth, at any moment she could have a rage blackout and just snap. I think in that moment she had a quick ass rage blackout, okay? And I think that's when she finds that, nah, he can't win. Because she thought to herself, how does he have the votes after doing this to me? You feel me? So yeah, definitely his answers to the jury were terrible, Coach. It was almost as if Ricky never thought about this part. It was almost like he's never watched the game and seen this part. But he was the main person telling Dina there's nothing she could do for him. He was the main person telling Dina how the final HOH was going to go, how you have to pick one person to go with you and eliminate the other two. You know, he was the one telling her that. But the reason why this is also good is because Marissa Jared Rigaker won the game off evicting two people straight up and taking Ross Matthews with her to the end. Ross Matthews threw that comp thinking that extra blood of those two votes would be all he needed to get over the top and win. He ended up losing because of a bitter jury. But now we come to the conclusion. There's no such thing as a bitter jury. It's all about you just having good jury management. And frankly, if the person you're sitting next to's jury management is worse than yours, who needs good jury management? At the end of the day, as long as you've done 0.000001 more things nicer than that person and your game plays are still elite, you will get the nod 9 times out of 10. You will get the nod. Now, if you guys are a different race, then that's when it becomes a little bit more algebraic, but that's neither here nor there. But that's my answer to that question, my good sir. That's my answer to that question. I hope I did you some justice, my good sir. Okay, we got another question, ladies and gentlemen, from Miss Melody Davis Joyce. Did you notice how Ricky referenced OJ in the diary room during the POV comp? Very tacky. Damn, I did not notice that. Oh, but it was a burglary competition. Oh, so he was throwing subtle shade at the brother. I'm not shocked. And I also thought it was very bizarre because during this episode, Ricky basically said the move he plans to do with the 1-1 tie, he's not scared to do it. I'm confused why he would think he would be perceived as scared if he kept Candy in that moment. Who would perceive you as scared? See, that makes me want to follow up with a question, Ricky. Was production Were they using reverse psychology on you, implying if you guaranteed an all-black finale that you were too scared to make the play to win the game for yourself? Did they convince you that that move could win you the game, Ricky, by saving Dina? Did they convince you saving Dina would get those white guys to vote for you at the end? I got to ask these questions, because why would he use the terminology of I'm not scared? I mean, you shouldn't be scared. You were in the NFL, coach. You've been through some real wars out there on that gridiron. So I thought the wording behind that, I think he was low-key cloaking some things that happened with production that he couldn't really dive deeper into. That's my thoughts on that, ladies and gentlemen. Budgie Blue, shout outs to you, my brother. Miles Case Jr. asked the question, why did Tamar put 15 on the last HOH comp when Julie said hours? The reason why she did that, Miles Cage, is for the same exact reason why she won that other competition, that other twist. She always bets low, expecting the other person to go too high. She did it the first time with Ricky in the tiebreaker and beat him. She thought she could outsmart him a second time. Now, my opinion on it, I think she threw it on purpose, and that's why she guessed it that low, because it was hours. I think she did that on purpose. I don't think she wanted the decision to cut the heads of both women, because she knew if Ricky did it right after saving Dina and right after, well, not really right after with Lolo, but right after saving Dina and knowing the fact that he was closer to Lolo than he ever was to Tamar, I think Tamar knew that if Ricky was the one to cut those ties himself, he basically gave those votes to her, and it made more sense for her to throw it once she realized it was a tie between the two of them. I fully believe if it was her and someone else that was tied, if it was her and Dina, she would have went all out. If it was her and Lolo, all out. If it was, yeah, that was the only two. So yeah, she would have went all out. I truly believe that. So that's my answer to you, my good sir. C Queen asked the question. Ricky thought about everything in the game except for final two speech. Why is that? Honestly, I don't know. But if I had to guess, I think he thought he had it in the bag if he went with Tamar. I think he thought the same reason why he had to get rid of Candy. I think he perceived Candy as the person who was that, essentially the Black Dina. Too nice, will always win head-to-head versus anyone of the same color. Dina, on the other hand, will always win as long as you're not the same color. Now it's basically between Lolo and Tamar who he chooses. If he takes Lolo, they both claim the same exact moves, and Lolo is a better talker, and she'll have Eva's vote over him. So he already knows he's behind an 8-ball, and he just screwed Candy and would have had to screw Tamar and go back on a plan and a deal he made with Tamar to be at the end with Lolo anyway, losing Tamar's vote, Candy's vote, and Eva's vote before he even gets to the white man. That would have been another unanimous. You see how quickly I broke that down? You feel me? He really didn't have a choice. I mean, really. And it's because of the decision he made. You feel me? The people he decided to align with. You feel me? And at the end of the day, it's like Tony Moose said, he was going to lose this game regardless, coach. It didn't matter. And that's basically because people didn't respect his gameplay. They didn't respect it. All right. Dennis K asked the question, do you think Ricky would have won against Lolo? I pretty much just got into that, but I wanted to give you a shout out, give your name some love on this finale episode, on this finale rant. I don't think Ricky would have had a chance in hell versus Lolo, because just like I broke down, it probably would have been another unanimous. The only person who votes for Ricky over Lolo is probably Dina. I think that's the only person. And that's only if he were to keep Dina over Candy, then take Lolo with him. Then I could see Dina possibly voting for him because she can't stand Lolo. So that, I mean, it's either unanimous or Dina votes for Ricky because he made her into a new woman. Should we even care about BB21? Preston Frederick. Well, shout outs to Preston Frederick. I ain't seen you in a minute, my brother. Good to see you. Should we even care about BB? I agree with you, Preston. I feel like we got what we wanted. Fuck BB21. Honestly, we can go into BB21 with house money, coach. You feel me? We can go into it with house money. Like, legitimately. We don't have, like this will be the first ever Big Brother US season where the black super fans are literally just watching their game like, who cares? Now, if we see some racist shit, all hell gonna break loose. Y'all got us fucked up. But if you stay classy and you just happen to swarm on black people and surround and drown them, like Jeremy Collins says, with your subtle bigotry, I mean, at the end of the day, It's what happens in the game. You know, I brought it up in a tweet earlier. I mean, Big Brother US is a flawed game, but that is why it's a flawed game for black people to play. But that is why Tamar deserves even more credit. I mean, when people cannot downplay this victory, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot even try to downplay this, ladies and gentlemen. This is miraculous. This is miraculous. Okay? I have never seen a player come into the game, act like they hate somebody, then that person becomes the number one person they trust. And then the person that they now trust grows into the game and becomes one of the most dangerous social players we've ever seen. It's like, huh? Like really? Like, if I could talk to myself from a month ago, I wouldn't believe half the shit I tell myself, feeling how I feel right now. Like, this is a euphoric feeling. I cannot explain it. I cannot explain it, but all of you are feeling it. So it's like we all know what it feels like, but we can't really put it into words. It's such a great feeling. Bro, when I tell you I'm finna smoke such a great blunt tonight, boy, I'm finna celebrate. Tamar, I'm putting one in the air for you, coach. You feel me? We already got it popping a little bit with the winking out. I mean, let me not give people too much free merchandising. They ain't paying my ass. You feel me? But y'all know what it is. You feel me? You know, I used to be a heavy drinker, but I was like, man, I need to cut down on that shit. And I ain't gonna lie. Once you start being around enough ladies, man, you get used to the wine life, man. Shit's simple. It's simple. You feel me? I never feel hungover or nothing, but that's neither here nor there. Hell to the Nah asked the question, did Tamar throw the tiebreaker question? Yes, I basically just answered that. I'm glad that I'm answering questions as I'm answering other questions. This is great because I can get to more questions. This is a great point that Budgie brings up here, and I need to mention this because we need to take note of this. Now, I doubt this happens, but I hope it doesn't. He essentially says, I hope Big Brother Canada doesn't fire Ika from doing ET interviews and hire Tom Green now. That is a great perspective to have, because while all of us are so focused on celebrating, they could be doing stuff behind the scenes to fuck shit up. So we do need to keep our eyes up, our eyes open, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for getting that one wrong. But at the end of the day, yes, we do need to make sure Ika keeps her gig because she's doing a wonderful job. She's probably interviewing them right now live. So shout outs to Queen Ika, who held it down for us this week and didn't have to. But yeah, 100%. I could see them trying to do that because wasn't Tom Green wasn't he the face of ET Canada's Twitter page or something? Weren't they dick riding him something crazy during this season where they had him on their homepage or something? I forgot what they called it, but essentially they made it seem like he was Canada's player. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say it's good to see Americans aren't as racist towards people from other places. Well, I shouldn't say racist. Aren't as tribalistic. I think that's the word. Aren't as tribalistic as Australian Survivor is, perhaps. Like the way they did Russell Hanson, Australian Survivor, was kind of grimy. It's good to see that we don't treat people, oh, you're from Canada, first boot, let's get him out of here. It's good to see that wasn't the way people took it. Now, he did get nominated in first week, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Lee Parks asked the question. Shout outs to Ghost, by the way, coming through. Shout outs to the Mighty Mods, by the way. You feel it, dig me? Oh, we sent that smoke towards that bitch nigga Ghost. You notice that motherfucker ain't had none of that hot shit to say to you no more. Because he knows he looks like the bully now. But let's get to this question. Lee Park asked the question, do you think being black now in this game puts an even bigger target? Absolutely, Lee Parks. Thank you for that question. This is why BB21, we ain't checking for like that. That's why. Okay? I have a feeling they are going to pick some fucked up people for this BB21, man. Okay, I just got a sneaky suspicion, coach. I'm worried, man, because at the end of the day, now they're going to put the sisters through an even longer process. Now, you know, the way Tamar tricked people into thinking she wasn't a genius for so long, you gotta think about this. Tamar has been in a public spotlight damn near her entire life, right? But there are a lot of people, and I'll admit to this to a degree. I didn't really understand Tamar because I don't watch her shows, but granted, I don't feel like her shows are really catered to a person like me. I'm a guy, I'll watch some sports all fucking day. You know what I'm saying? So dilly-dally, shilly-shally. But at the same time, though, I feel like Tamar, you know, she proved something during this season. She proved a black player can play the entire house. They can play the entire DR, and they can even play their own fans into thinking that they're not in the game sometimes. And I think because she played this specific way, they are going to vet people through an even deeper psychology process, okay? And they're going to want to know if the person they're getting is capable of pulling a TaMartyrdom. And that's another reason why I wanted to name this rant TaMartyrdom. I want us to label her gameplay TaMartyrdom, because the way you look at it, she's explosive, okay? That fits in. She was hated by a lot of people for reasons that they love other white players. So there was definitely some form of hating there, but they also made her into a martyr with their hate, okay? Then on top of that, she ends up winning the game during Black History Month on the same exact night where her best friend got screwed out of the opportunity to make history for herself and for them as a unit. And she still won unanimously. I have a reason to believe Allison Grodner is completely pissed right now. I have reason to believe so, okay? I have reason, okay? Like 100%. She cannot be happy with this outcome. And the reason why she can't be happy with this outcome is based off of how her subordinates conducted themselves on feeds over the past 24 hours. You can't possibly be happy with this outcome if you work so hard to give Dina the chance to be in the final two. You can't be happy with it. It's just not possible. Because if you were truly happy with letting the game go down its natural route, you would have never went out of your way to try to get Lolo and Ricky to save Dina. So that's the truth. And they can never walk that back. You feel me? And all the people that won't give Tamar her credit, bet money when it's time for interviews to come through, bet they start kissing her ass then. And we need to put Tamar on game with the bullshit and with how they withheld giving her credit until after she won as well. And see, I got a feeling most of the sisters will go ahead and handle that. You know, it'll come off a little fake if a whole bunch of brothers come to, you know, they've been saying this. You know, it's going to come off a little fake. I definitely want the sisters to be able to create that bridge. You feel it, dig me? So that's my answer to that question. I already answered a question from Romeo. I'm sorry. Someone donated? Hold up. They donated? They donated to RBR Nation. I apologize. Miss Game 2, thank you so much for your donation. I truly appreciate it. To all the people who might be wanting to donate in the future, and I might not be going live, always know that there is a GoFundMe page and they take less of a percentage out than YouTube does. Just putting your own game. You feel me? Just putting your own game. But you know me, I'm not really I'm not propelled by money like my adversaries and my rivals are. But they're not really rivals because they're not on my talent level. But that's neither here nor there. Let's continue. I agree with you, Will My Cat Eat This. All three Black people did make great moves. All four Black people made great moves. Even though Lolo has some self-hate, she made great moves too, coach. She made great moves too. But I'd argue she was the decaf Tamar the entire time. Lolo, I think her biggest, I think if I'm Lolo, I'm salty that I was picked on the same season as Tamar. Because I think if Lolo has that same personality during a season that doesn't include Tamar, I think her and Eva steamroll everybody. They're both final two, and it's done. Because nobody is smart enough to stay in a room after an alliance has already been broken, work their way back into said alliance, then get the alliance to believe they're not possibly working with the person that they all work together to get Tom to target their best friend with. I mean, do y'all understand how great your gameplay has to be from a cloaking perspective to convince someone that even though you just worked with a guy that you danced his way out the house to get rid of Eva, you still somehow are aligned to them? I mean, that's impressive, man. That's fucking impressive. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. I think my computer froze. That's impressive, man. Oh, y'all can still hear me? That's fucking impressive. All right, bet. My stuff froze on the low. Snap. I think my computer froze. On the low, my stuff froze, coach. Y'all can still hear me? It's fucking impressive. All right, bet. Hey, man, I think someone trying to fuck with us, man. I think they mad that we shining right now, man. I think they mad. But see, the fucked up part is my shit is frozen. I can't change nothing, but y'all can hear me, so I'm going to keep going. Let me keep reading questions. Yeah, Grodner's definitely worried. I'm pretty sure she's switching some alternates up from BB21. Nah, too woke. Damn, y'all can't see me right now. That was a funny joke I just did. Damn. Cohen Wyatt asked the question, do you think that Tamar is a better player than Danielle Reyes? Damn. Yes, I do. You know why? Because she won under the same fucked up circumstances Danielle Reyes lost through. Can we be honest? Now, granted, Danielle Reyes had to deal with a longer layover time, a standard season, which allowed people to be even more butthurt by her success over time. But Tamar still showed herself to have more nuance to her gameplay than Danielle had at her time. Now, let's be honest. You can't compare eras like that, though, because Danielle's gameplay for its time was unmatchable, especially from a black perspective, unmatchable. So I want to give her the respect she is due. I don't want to tear down one person to prop up the other, but at the because I think we do that too much in this community. But at the same time, though, you cannot knock what Tamar pulled off here. You can't knock it, coach. You can't knock it. It is as close to an impossible feat as I have ever seen. Yes, like exactly, Selena. Because what Danielle didn't know at that time was that she needed to outsmart production to help her jury management case, because at that time, it was normal to have a jury be able to, you know what I'm saying, watch the game from outside of it and still vote. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, she did the best with the resources she had. But in terms of Tamar being able to see all these players play before she did and be able to encompass all of the right tools and resources to cancel out all of the racism that she knows is going to come into this game as a super fan, for her to be so well prepared for all of the bullshit, cancel all of it out, pivot, be the person in the middle that somehow dominated the game from basically from as soon as the second half of the game started on, she pretty much was in the power position. Okay. And she pretty much coasted it. And when she had to win to prove she could, she did. Okay. And I can't stress this enough. Her deciding not to take Candy off for that one eviction, to make Dina feel like she wasn't on the bottom, to make Ricky and Lolo believe she still worked with them, that got her to the final two. If she doesn't do that, Ricky and Lolo probably, they dig in the trenches. It's us versus them mentality. They both make a deal, go to the final two together. No Tamar is in the final two. Lolo wins the game, probably 8-1, 9-0. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what, all of these people claiming they got this expert analysis, they got to break it down this way, or else they don't deserve the platform they got. And that's just what's really real, man. And I don't know what's wrong with this computer, dog. They got to break it. Damn, y'all still can't hear me, man. Shit. Man. Oh, the haters is out, ain't they? Man. Like for real, like this stuff, I ain't never had this computer for, I don't know how my mic's still working, but I can't do nothing on my screen. Like, this is crazy. This is trippy. All right, let's take more questions, ladies and gentlemen. You feel it, dig me? What do you think about the Loco Lolo train pulling into Bitter Station, Dave? This is a question from Ghost. Shout outs to the brother Ghost. I think this is right on cue with who Lolo is, ladies and gentlemen. Of course she was going to be Loco Lolo in this situation. I mean, we saw the veto competition tonight, that burglary shit. Now I understand why Tamar had such a problem with it, saying, hey, that's something that was meant for her to win. She's a fucking Olympic hurdler. I mean, did you see some of the moves Lolo was pulling off to carry shit and jump over them beams? They look like the fucking Resident Evil movie with Mia Jovovich, or whatever the hell her name is. That looked like that movie. Okay, it looked like that shit. Like, what the fuck? It looked like Mission Impossible, coach. You feel me? And it just wasn't fair, dog. But I gotta admit, that was one of the funnier scenes I've ever seen. When they slowed everything into slow motion with Tamar threw that ball, that football over the lasers, and it started bouncing back. She was like, no. I mean, that was hilarious. I mean, that is up there with the haunted house scene where she walked her ass right back out the front door. I mean, when you break it down, dog, this is the season of Tamar, dog. If they put this shit on Blu-ray and DVD, you know how the Survivor DVDs used to be, where they would show you like all of the main characters of the season. They usually show you 6 people, right? They usually show you the person at the top in the middle who won, the person at the top on the right who was the most loved, usually. Person at the top on the left is usually the GOAT of the season, the person people hated. Then the person at the bottom is usually the person who opposed the person in the middle at the top. You know, I feel like if they did a Big Brother like DVD case of this season, you would literally have to put Tamar in the middle, and you would have to put Candy at the top right, the person everyone loves, okay? You would have to put, who would go top left? Top left would have to be Ricky because he lost the game to Tamar. The bottom one probably would have to be Eva because she was Tamar's biggest threat in the game. Once Tamar got Eva out, Lolo did not know how to drive strategy at all. And I'd argue Ricky unraveled without Eva as well. And this is why I told y'all Eva had the easiest chance to win the game out of everyone left when she was in it, because she was the person who wasn't emotional, but she was the woman who wasn't emotional in the Alliance, okay? And because it was 2 women and 1 guy, the women had the power in the 3. They were the one protecting Ricky most of the game. And that is also why they felt they took it so personally for Ricky to betray Lolo in that moment. I mean, really, Ricky, man, man, if you had this long con planned out this entire time to fall on your sword, hey, brother, kudos to you. Because you tricked these white folks as well as you tricked us. But these white folks like, I love Ricky. Soon as he sent Dina and Lolo home, they was like, this motherfucker, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, Tamar wins. You know what? Ricky really is the only one who played the. Shut your dumb ass up. Okay, all of this hedging I'm seeing in 2 hours. Pick a side, coach. Pick a side. Now all of a sudden y'all rock with Ricky because he out here picking Dina over Candy. Get the fuck out of here, man. You feel it, Digny? All right, let's take some more questions, man. I'm on a roll right now. I'm talking that hot shit. Y'all can't even see me, so I think the comedy's even better. Get the fuck. I don't know. I think it's even. This is like podcast season now. It's fucking hilarious. All right, let's take some more questions. BMG asks a follow-up to Ghost question. Is Lolo uninvited to the cookout? Hey, listen, Ricky can come, all right? He can come. With a +1, you can come, coach, because you did what you needed to do. You pulled the rug. You pulled the Aladdin rug from underneath these folks' fucking feet, all right? They're salty. They're salty, like really salty. So he can show up to the cookout, coach. You feel me? He can get himself 2 plates. He can even get a to-go plate, okay? I'm talking the styrofoam on the bottom, the aluminum foil on the top, coach, all wrapped around. You feel it, Digby? He can get 3 plates, all right, for his contribution to go ahead and giving the queen her crown, okay? He can come. But Lolo, the self-hate is just unsurpassed. I mean, damn. You know, and I felt like at the end of the day, okay, I think she's leaving this game more angry at Ricky Williams now than she ever was angry at Candy. It's gonna be awkward for Ricky, bro. It's gonna be real awkward for Ricky. But guess what? TaMartyrdom All right, bet. Can y'all hear me, coach? I'm back. The rank god is back. Y'all cannot stop Thanos that easily. Man, let's get it popping. I see myself. Man, what's popping? Man, they can take me down, bro. Don't they know I got 9 lives, man? You gonna have to do that shit 8 more. We back, coach. We back. Hey, this a legendary rant now. This is even more legendary. They tried to come at Thanos. Now, I had to sacrifice one of my Infinity Stones as power, but at least it was the pinky ring, so we still powerful in this bitch. But what's good? Let's answer some more questions, coach. Let's get it popping. You feel me? And shout outs to all the new people watching tonight. It's good to have you all here. Welcome to the family. This is how every rant is. You know, contrary to popular belief, we are one of the most inviting, most forgiving, most cool communities there is on YouTube in terms of just Big Brother. Like we're one of the coolest sectors there is. The reason why is because we're the realest sector. We call it how it is. But at the same time, no, my chat will check me if I'm off code. So understand, there is checks and balances here. This ain't no dictatorship. You feel it, dig me? So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to give my people some credit. You know what I'm saying? They got good taste. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, let's get to the question. I'm bullshitting. You feel it, dig me? You right, Miss Mary Sims. I was getting too real for them. They say, hey, shut it down. Shut it down. You feel me? If you don't get your big LL Cool J looking ass out my face, you feel me? I was not going, boy. D-Boo. I shut him down. We getting it popping. All right. I'm answering questions. Let's go. You feel me? Yeah, I agree, Miss Deanna Harden. There's too much black magic energy, man. They trying to cancel it out with some type of forbidden jitsu keke genkai, man. That might go over some heads, but y'all know me. I got to do an anime reference here and there. All right. Anyway. Okay. All right. I'm ready, y'all. Let's get it popping. Shout outs to Pharrell Spee for saying the live is lit. I appreciate you, my good sir. Welcome to the family. I just wanted to give you a shout out. King Ubong, what's going on, my brother? He said maybe GM shut it. Y'all talking that hot shit tonight. I'm loving this. It's litty. Laney 808 says, I think subconsciously Ricky wanted Tamar to win, like he knew he was screwed no matter what, so he chose the most genuine winner. You know, I think you might have a point there, Laney. I think in the back of his mind, I think he knew I fucked up. When he saw Candy, when he saw the way she left, he's like, man, I wasn't gonna get her vote over Tamar anyway. Fuck it. But then when he got rid of Lolo, you know, and Lolo was a little bit too much. I understand, man. I understand. He said, damn it, I fucked up with her too. When Lolo don't even want to give you the anger because she got to keep herself looking nice for finale night, you know she really raging behind all that, okay? Behind that mask, she wish she could whoop that ass. Like, that's what's really popping in the streets. You feel me? Ricky did not want that Olympic smoke, okay? He did not want it, all right? Let's see, Miss Deborah Cuthbertson, good to see you, ma'am, is here tonight. She says, if you could, would you want to be on BB21? I'd pay to see that. You know, after what just happened with Tamar, hell no. Y'all not gonna fuck with. Hey, listen, whoever follows up that perfection of a gameplay, that masterclass, whoever follows that up, I don't feel sorry. Well, I do feel sorry for you. That's my point. I do not pity you. Wait. I do not wish I was you. That's what I mean to say. Listen, whoever follows up Tamar from just the black women contingency, man, there's so much pressure, man. There's so much pressure. And see, we thought there was a lot of pressure for Tamar to live up to Omarosa. She blew that shit. I'm talking Barry Bonds pre-steroids. Knock that bitch into the top row, coach. So she has raised the bar here, man. She has raised the bar here. And see, when Omarosa winked at her, that let me know all I needed to know. Yep, we picked the right horse. We picked the right one. Once Omarosa, you feel me? Once she gave her that death wink. Oh, the One Piece fan, shout outs to y'all. But once she gave her that wink, we knew it was popping. We knew she gave her that good luck. That was the good luck wink, okay? She gave her the fuck Ross's curse wink. That's what that shit was, okay? You know, shout outs to Omarosa for all of her good chi. Sims 3 Reality Central asked the question. Shout outs to Selena for relaying it. Sims 3 Reality Central asked the question, would Tamar have won against Dina? Absolutely not. Absolutely. The same way this shit was a clean sweep for her. Understand. All these motherfuckers that love the hot shit she was talking about, they would have took the same shit she said much differently if Dina was next to her and couldn't think of what to say. They would have been like, you know what? The fact that she can't think of what to say shows she didn't prepare. We should reward her because for her not to prepare, clearly she is being honest in the moment. Y'all know how they spin shit for white folks. Y'all know how they spin shit for white folks. That's exactly how it would have been spun, y'all. And see, it sounds so realistic because it's so true. It's so true. They would have been like, come on, y'all. I mean, Dina's pretty old. For her to sign up for this 3-week show when she didn't have to, I mean, come on. We got to give her credit here. And let's speak on the elephant in the room as well. Why was Lolo and Ricky using Candy's financial status? Why were they, her financial stability? Why were they using that as incentive to get rid of her? As if Dina Lohan doesn't have old money. As if Dina Lohan doesn't have that Lindsay money. Are we serious? So because Dina and Lindsay allegedly could have blown it on some snow day Nickelodeon movie, okay? You see how I tried to word that a certain way, allegedly. So because they blew it on a lot of that snow day, it's all right, it's okay, you can make it anyway, because they sniffed all that jingle up. Allegedly. So because of that, she somehow deserves it because she has less money in the moment right now. Come on, man. We got to stop the bullshit. Why do people care so much about what black people make? Why do black people care so much what black people make? I just don't like that shit. Why are we in each other's pockets when we know how hard it was for that person to get to that level in the first place? Why do we have to bring this person's success to light to bring some light to us? You know, I respect a person more when they come together and try to build with the person as opposed to, oh, let's just point out the obvious. And see, a lot of people are saying Lolo has been jealous of Candy the moment she's seen Candy's husband. Now, I don't know who Candy's husband is. I don't know when she saw Candy's husband because once again, Candy has never been HOH. So I don't know when she saw her husband. I don't know if this was on when they were on Twitter. Like, I'm confused how this happened. Okay. But allegedly she saw Candy's husband. And from that point forward, she's basically just been hating on her. You feel me? And I also thought it was really weird how Lolo, you know, she cracked a joke during the burglary veto competition talking about how she used to break into her ex's crib all the time. You know, did any of y'all notice how she didn't say ex-boyfriend? I thought that was very unique. And for someone who has gone out of the way to mention how much they're a virgin, how could you be so emotionally invested into someone you're not having sex with to break into their house? I mean, I think that's a little crazy. I think it's crazy even if you are getting dick down. But if you ain't, I think that's borderline sociopathic. You feel what I'm saying? Get that shit checked out, coach. I'm just being honest with you. And honestly, it's feeling a little bit like KC. Remember when KC admitted she used to stalk her ex? You know what I'm saying? I followed her all the way to Cali. Like, whoa, bitch. But anyway. Man, hey, once I rose back from the dead tonight, y'all know I was going to talk that hot shit some more. I mean, it was going to happen, coach. It was going to happen. All right, let's answer some more questions, man. I'm excited, man. And I'm glad y'all having a great time, man. This is what these rants are all about. Taylor Mays asked the question. Good to see you, Miss Taylor. Did you see how Ryan was still trying to save his ass tonight, talking about how the tabloids was trying to mask who he was as a person? Yeah. He attempted to continue his rebrand. What I think is he got inspired by Ricky's attempt at a rebrand. And he said, oh, it works when you're cooning? It should work for me. Let me stop, man. Ricky ain't no cool, man. Hey, you have redeemed yourself. I'm never going to call you that word, coach. I'm going to say that for the death rows of the world. I'm going to save it for the Oreos. I'm going to save it. All right? Save it for a rainy day. All right? Miss Melody Davis Joyce asked the question, was I the only one disappointed when Julie said she would see us this summer for BB21? I mean, I wasn't disappointed because at the end of the day, clearly, Julie's in great standing with CBS. I think CBS is too scared to replace her because I think in the back of their mind, they know Julie is Big Brother. Big Brother is Julie. You know, it would be like taking TJ Lavin off the challenge. Once you do that, I mean, no disrespect to Lil Romeo or who else did they have hosting that challenge, or Victor Cruz. No disrespect to them guys, but they ain't TJ Laughing, Coach. It's something about having a host who would break his neck on a BMX bike that makes you want to tune in to hear him question people. I'm just being honest, okay? You know, it's something about your host being a badass that makes everyone else want to go harder to impress him, right? Do I think Big Brother could use that jolt of new energy? Yes, possibly. And frankly, I think Julie, I don't know. I think now that Julie isn't on the talk, Big Brother's really all she has. That's her baby. I can't see her going away from that because she's already had to give up her second child in the talk. I don't see her giving up both kids. You know, I don't see it. I really don't. So yeah, so I'm not really disappointed per se, because I actually do like Julie. I just don't like the part of Julie that covers up for production when clear racist things happen. And as an Asian woman, I feel like she should have a responsibility to minorities specifically to allow these things to be aired, to have these same conversations. Okay. But, you know, you can't have everything in one night, right? So progress. Selena for Life relays the question from Sir Jake Wish. He asks, do you think Ricky knew he would lose? I don't think Ricky knew he would lose to that extent. I think he had a feeling he had an uphill climb. But I think the moment those questions came and Tamar kept answering them in such a way that was classy, that was, I learned so much from all of you. I love all of you. And the way Tamar owned her explosive side of her game, the way she said, you know, looking back on it, I didn't have to be that person. And I probably lost a lot of friends being that person. And for that, I am most sorry. Like the way she worded it, you could tell she knew those questions was coming because she's seen enough finales to know the type of questions that get written down on those cards. See, this is where the super fan has a huge advantage in the game. At the end, that's why Josh gashed Paul. And see, Paul was never really a super fan of Big Brother. That's why he never learned his mistake from his first crash and burn. That's why he kept telling himself, no, it was just the jury. No, it was just jury. And then when he comes back, he's got Raven as a built-in mole for him. You know, she's going to always vote for him. Then she has the little showmance with Matt. So that's a +2 number. Then you got Kevin. Then you got homeboy. I forgot the dude who was with Alex and Jason. Then you got them. They're a +2 he had as well. Then you got Josh and Christmas, another +2 he had. So he had everyone in his friendship code, but it was built by all of these different duos. And then, of course, you had Mark and that other chick that's canceled. You feel me? You know, Blow Doll Lips. That's the nickname. But that's neither here nor there. All right, let's continue. I want to redo on my question, Dave, because my new question fired. Go ahead, BMG, ask it, coach. Let's get it popping. It's finale night, man. Y'all ain't gonna see me again till what? March 6th, March 7th, whenever BB Can 7 starts. So you feel me? It's like roughly about 20 days or so. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make sure I answer these questions for y'all. You know what I'm saying? That way, when BB Can 7 starts up, you know, we can all revel in a new season, you know, and enjoy the fact that most likely they're gonna be fair to black players because it's Canadian. Okay, so that's another thing. Let me see if we got some more questions, ladies and gentlemen, up top. BMG Sims. Okay, this was the first question, but I didn't answer it yet. So BMG, if you got the follow-up question, go ahead and ask it. Do you think Tamar was really AFP, but they gave it to Tom? That's exactly what I think, coach. That's what I think. 100%. I think because she won the game, they changed it. Because you notice, we rarely ever see anyone get AFP and win the game anymore. Wasn't there people back in the day that won both? I thought there was. It feels like it's impossible to win both now. It feels like it's almost a built-in rule now. If you lose the game, we'll make sure you get it. Like, that's what it feels like. You know, we were talking about how Lifeguard Jesus, you just mentioned it, how he got it, right? And he basically only got it because he lost the game to Casey. And then he's like, oh my God, I thought everyone hated me. You know, the white girl crying technique. You know, he applied it and it worked because everyone was like, oh, even Bailey was like, oh, even though she shouldn't, she didn't, at the end of the day, she didn't owe shit to him to say, oh. But see, when you're that nice of a human being, you still empathize with people even though you don't like them. Maybe he should learn something about that. But that's neither here nor there. You feel me? Yeah, the talk was the show. Just Sheldon asked the question, do you think they expected this type of player when they chose Ricky? Absolutely not. I think without a doubt, they thought Ricky. And see, this is why I said what I said about how Faisal is facing pressure from outside sources. I think Ricky was facing the same type of pressure through production, possibly from outside sources, mainly because I truly believe when a black man has a white woman, there's a lot of pressure from white people that we won't be able to understand or know about that they have to deal with to feel like they deserve the person they chose. And I think that pressure leads to them voluntarily doing a bit of buck dancing to jump in front of the order, the command, if you will. So before someone says, hey, you need to do more of this, you need to shit on more of your people a little bit more because we don't know what side of the fence you stand on. Usually people like that, they jump in front of that before you even say something to them so you don't have to say shit and they're already buck dancing. I think in Ricky's case, I think he legitimately was what he always said he was. He was a healer, okay? Now, did that make him the best game player in the world? No. Do I think he didn't get enough credit for the game he truly did play? Yes. Because at the end of the day, you could tell John Bennett was butthurt with Ricky because Ricky was the one who made the fantastic play to get out John Bennett. Okay. And at the end of the day, that was the reason why I thought Ricky would have went to the end with Lolo, because he could always say his biggest move was how we got rid of John. But for whatever reason, when they asked him on the spot what his biggest move was, he never mentioned that move. And that confused me. I said, Ricky, you forgot the one move that you can claim that the women can't? The one move that got you in good with the women? Come on. How do you not remember this move? So I was shocked. And that's what made me think he decided to lay on his sword, you know, because I can't see a guy forgetting that information when he is choosing his destiny at the end. He truly has the longest amount of time to think about his speech because he was the one who was confirmed to be in the final two the longest. And he looked like he was pacing back and forth thinking of what to say. So I'm just shocked that he choked the way he did, which is why I'd rather take the alternative of he laid on his sword to make sure Tamar was the rightful winner. I think if we run with that narrative, it makes Ricky to be a martyr of his own in a way. And I think that's good. I think that's good, you know. Now, I think a lot of white people ain't going to allow us to use that excuse for long. I think they're going to say, oh, Ricky is stupid. Ricky made a decision that didn't make sense. Ricky, you know, we're going to see a lot of people saying Ricky should have took Dina. We're going to see that. And this is going to come from a contingency of people that would have preferred seeing a person that didn't deserve to win over three people who deserve to win. So at the end of the day, if we hear anyone talking that hot shit, we know to just block them because they're not really a fan of the game. They're just a fan of the concepts that promote the privilege within it. But that's neither here nor there as well. You feel me? Like, I'm just talking that hot shit tonight. You feel me? Miss Mary Sims asked the question, Dave, do you think Lolo threatened Tamar saying if she wouldn't vote Candy out that she would use the veto on Dina and put her up is the same thing Tom did? Actually, I took that in my notes. That was the exact same thing Tom did. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Miss Mary Sims, because I didn't get to that part of my notes. I actually had a feed section, but I felt like the feed section would be a bit redundant when I got to the questions portion, because I know how intelligent all of you are, and you probably would ask questions that related to the feeds. And this question fits right in. So hold on, let me reread this question and make sure I get my thoughts right about this. I 100% believe Lolo did use Tom's tactics. And see, my thing about it is, I just don't get for Lolo's game why that made any sense. If you're going to take Dina off, just take her the fuck off. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're at the end of the game. No one owes you a thing. If you want to do it, go do it, coach. You know what I'm saying? But for her to do that the way she did that, it was based off of her hate for Candy. You feel me? The same way Tom's hate for Ricky forced him to go ahead and give that ultimatum to Tamar and Candy as well, you know. And Candy was like, whoa, you low-key threatening me on the low. Hold up, let's calm that down. And he was like, hold on, don't use that word, you know what I mean? And then she was like, no, I'm not using this word to shit on you. I'm using this word to let you know how you come off when you talk to women sometimes. You feel me? And Tom finally got it. And it actually was good to see. When Candy got eliminated and they revealed her, Tom did give her a nice hug. That confirmed that he would have given her a vote most likely. I thought that was good to see. So I can't knock that at all. But at the same time, I thought it was very interesting, though. Oh, no. Actually, he should have been sitting there. Yeah, he should have been sitting there. Never mind. There's no problem with that. Now that I think about it. Lee Parks asked the question, what do you think Tom was thinking when Tamar had that power? I think he pretty much thought I'm fucked, because when you really go back in time and remember that twist felt like something that was designed for Tom to win, because he was an outgoing HOH who couldn't compete for his own safety besides veto. They basically gave him 2 veto competitions and he choked both of them, both to Tamar. So when you really break it down, Tamar deserved his vote because he couldn't beat her twice. And it's just that simple. You know, everyone says how intelligent you are. You had 2 opportunities to prove how intelligent you were both times, and she still yoked you. Give her your vote. He gave her his vote, and I'm happy she got his vote. You feel me? That's what's really real. You feel me? Wait, hold on. He's banned from the chat. What'd he do? Oh, damn. Boy, what you doing? Popping? You popping some pills over there, coach? Ghost Hunter relays the question from Miles Cage Jr. He asked the question, did you notice Lolo saying she needed the money on feeds, but tonight saying 50K ain't shit? Yeah, it's interesting. When you taste a little bit of that humble pie, all of a sudden that hot shit you was talking, all of a sudden it don't apply. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, another bar. I rap on accident, y'all. I'm sorry. Wait till we get 2,000 subs. I might give y'all Foo part 2. Ding. But not for this season, though. This season was great. Ding. I'm going to have to wait till BB21 because we know that'll be trash. Ding. All right, let's continue. Oh, you think she meant power of the publicist? Well, I thought Tom didn't know she had the power of the publicist until tonight. Well, technically he knew before then, because the jury can go out into the public world and then figure out stuff when they didn't know inside the game. Okay, so maybe she was talking about the publicist. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Tom was the one who assumed it was Ricky all the time when it was really Tamar. And at the end of the day, if it wasn't for Candy's good gameplay, well, that was when Candy and Joey was on the block, when that twist was up, right? When that twist was going on. Right. That was when that happened. And he thought Joey or Candy had to have had it. And his backup plan was Ricky. And that's when he did the ultimatum with Candy and Tamar. That's when he went up to Tamar and got her and tried to get her to press Candy to figure out she had the twist. And honestly, Tom is the one to blame for why Candy and Tamar got so close. It was Tom's erratic gameplay that brought them closer. You feel me? And see, this is another example. When you go out of your way to run the game the way you want to run it, okay? I'm not saying you're wrong or right for it, but that can bring an enemy, that can make an enemy acknowledge an enemy as their friend because they have the same enemy. And I think in that moment, Candy and Tamar was like, this motherfucker got us fucked up. Then they both ended up working with him, got out Eva, who they both needed out in order to make it to the final 5. I mean, no matter how you shake it, man, both of these sisters, they did their thing. They really did their thing. You feel it, dig me? Ghost Hunter asked the question, do you think Ricky's wife felt threatened because Ricky was healing Tamar last night for a little too long? You know what? Maybe Ricky put that positive chi on her, and that's why she killed those questions, man. I mean, it was so much positivity. She looked so good tonight. She stuck to all of her P's and her Q's. She didn't stray off of the road. She didn't get a little too me. She kept everything humble, and she dominated, man. So shout outs to Ricky, man. Maybe he planned this shit. Maybe the minute production gave him the ultimatum to save, then he said, fuck this. I'm going to do my Mr. Miyagi hands on her ass. And she's going to be ready to karate kick that ass tomorrow. All right, let me stop. All right, we taking some more questions, y'all. Okay, I already answered that question. Yeah, I already answered that. Joshua Joyce asked the question. Oh, I think I went to school with this dude. I might be wrong, but that's the name I grew up with a cat named Josh Joyce. Do you think Swaggy C will ever get a chance to redeem himself on Big Brother? And do you think he will see Tyler this summer, kind of how they brought back Paul? Amidst all of this shit going on, I think CBS will not want Swaley on their program for now. Mainly because CBS clearly has more loyalty to Kevin. And at the end of the day, even though Swaggy gets along very well with certain members of production and they do love him. I mean, after all, they did give him that scene where he visited Bailey's family and stuff like that. But even though they might like him, that doesn't mean they're going to risk their own brand bringing him on, because then we're going to have all of these people now on this witch hunt. They're going to be, we're boycotting your season until he's off our program. Are you aware that he did this? How could you possibly do this when he did that? You know, it'll just turn into a shitstorm from a PR perspective. I don't see CBS wanting to deal with that. Coming off of the winner of a black player, though, I could see them attempting it, though, to try to, you know how I always say, when we make some progress, they try to give us somebody who's meant to take from it. Not saying Swaggy would take from it, but I think if they did want him back, they would want him back to rig it so he would take from it. You feel what I'm saying? Like they would almost want to set him up the same exact way. And that's even more embarrassing if you come back and play again and you go out the same exact way. Now it makes it seem like you didn't learn anything. That trickles out into outside of the house. Now people can say, well, he didn't learn anything outside either. Now it becomes a running joke. And that's what I don't want to see that brother become. I don't want him to become a meme. You feel me? Because the brother is too much of a stand-up brother to become that. And that's what's really real. You feel me? I mean, I just call it like I see it. You feel me? Let me see. We got some more questions, ladies and gentlemen. Let me scroll up to the top because I may have missed something. I answered that question, my good sir. Answered that question. BMG was on the sauce. True Wisdom 13 asked the question, do you think Tom will get a TV show? I think this definitely made him more likable again to a broad audience. I think him getting that $25K for AFP on top of the $100K he got from being on the show, I think that is more than enough money for him to reinvest in whatever he wants to pursue in his career. Good luck to him. As I've always said, when I judge people, I judge their character in the game. I don't judge them as people outside of the game. I wait for them to give me a reason to assume they're the exact same person outside the game. Now, while I will admit that Tom had a lot of microaggressions driving his strategy against Ricky, when it came to other players like Candy, I found Tom to be a bit refreshing with how he gave her a chance to speak her mind after a while. So I'm not going to write him off as strictly some dude who was who clearly must be a racist because he treated Ricky this way. I think by him treating Candy the way he treated her when he didn't have to shows that there is more depth to this guy, and we just didn't get to see it. And some of that is his fault. And some of that is production's fault for wasting the edit away with him doing and all this dumb shit, you know. But then the minute Tamar gets one scene of her going, no, everybody complains. Tom has been getting scenes like this every fucking week, though. You know what I'm saying? But see, the minute Tamar does, it's like, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, AFP voting has closed, y'all. Why y'all tripping as if this is going to help her get over the hump or something? Like the way people were complaining, you can clearly tell they were ready for the season to be over the same way we didn't want the season to end. You feel me? Jerome Lang asked the question. I don't think I've ever seen that name, so welcome to the RBR family, my good sir. He asked the question, do you think Queen Tamar's epic win is going to change the way CBS will cast African Americans and will allow them to play with more fairness and having a legit chance at winning it each summer? Bro, everything you just asked me sounded like a damn fairy tale. And that's not me trying to shit on you, okay? I'm being honest. Me and you both know that's too good to be. I mean, the amount of words you pumped into that question, I mean, there's a bit of a run on, but the amount of words you pumped into that, it let me know you didn't believe the shit you was asking because you kept qualifying it on your way to the question mark. But there's a chance they could mature. But after what happened on the feeds the last 24 hours, we know that it's the same old production there. It's the same old production. Did we get a different result? Yes. Was it an unintended result by production? Probably. But that does not mean they have learned anything. In fact, the only thing they probably have learned are the things that we won't appreciate. Like I mentioned before, make sure that the black women we choose, make sure they're more Zakiyas and less intelligent Davons. You know, that's not me shitting on Z, but at the end of the day, Z basically threw her game away to fuck with a white guy. She threw her game away. I mean, that's just what it is, you know? And I think if Z was more grounded and didn't get with him and wasn't in no showmans with him, I think her and Davon could have possibly played a fantastic game, and maybe them two could have worked together to get out Nicole and maybe worked with the big Michelle. I don't even want to call her a nickname because I think that's cultural appropriation. But yeah, maybe they could have worked in a group of three, and maybe they could have had their own Dina, Candy, Tamar thing. See, that's my point. See, This is why the gameplay these two sisters played this season is so groundbreaking. Because, but also, let's take into account, because it's a celebrity season, there isn't no showmancing. And because there's no showmancing, I'd argue black people in general are more focused on the prize. You know, now we don't get many black showmancers. This is true, but we've seen black men throw their game away from white women. You feel me? We've seen that before. We've seen Ali do it. I mean, he threw it away for April, coach. You feel me? I'd argue Ali was one of the few people who was on the Dan's bullshit, but he just took a deal that was too good to be true when he just should have stayed up there during that damn endurance comp, won the damn HOH, get one of Dan or Memphis out, and now you and April run the entire game, basically. You know, but he decided not to. You feel me? It's just what it is. Oh, is April the... No, I'm thinking of Libra. Okay. It was April. All right, I was just making sure. Dash Riffraff asked the question, everyone was supposed to be a celebrity. Why were the girls so jealous of Candy? It's her money. That's what it is. It's her money. And once again, as somebody who doesn't really know Candy's past like that, because once again, I don't care how much money. I care about your gameplay. You feel what I'm saying? Like Dr. Will was a doctor. That's why they call him Dr. Will. But did anyone say he don't deserve the money because he's a doctor? No. They said he played the best game, give him the fucking check, and let's go home. Okay? That's my point. Okay? You feel me? If a black person tells everyone they're a doctor, what do people immediately assume? He's too intelligent for a Negro. I mean, yeah, people can say, Dave, you're reaching here, but it is the truth, man. And that's why oftentimes black people really got to hide their occupation. Really got to hide it. Like, if y'all really think if I went into the game of Big Brother, I would tell people I'm a podcaster? Hell no. I would have to think of something that makes sense for my size, but at the same time, something that doesn't sound like me covering something else up. It has to be something believable. And I'm too good of a talker to act like I don't have a job that involves talking. But see, that's why the shit is so damn complicated. And that's why Tamar deserves her credit, because everyone knew about Tamar. They may not have known Tamar, but they knew about her. And she still yoked the fuck out of them. Like, that's what's really real. Straight up. Marlena Smith asks a great question. She asks me, do you think public opinion swayed their votes? Absolutely. Because something between me and y'all that I ain't really said shit to nobody about. John Bennett liked my post on Instagram. He liked one of my posts where I was basically talking about my last rant when I said, hey, check, in case you missed it, check out my last rant. Well, John Bennett liked it. I mean, the handle was Jonathan D. Bennett. Now, I don't know if that's his exact one, because I'm not a motherfucker to click on it to make sure, oh, did the real one like it? Like, that's not my thing. But I noticed that someone with that exact name liked my shit. Now, here's the question. Are these guys watching? Are current players in the game part of the jury watching my rants? Are they basing public opinion based off of the black community that I may have a bit of influence over? I'm not sure. But I thought it was interesting how he liked it. Now, granted, I do use hashtags that have all of these people's names in it. So they could have just been searching for hashtags with their name in it and liking everything in a row. And it just happened to stumble upon me. And maybe he didn't even check out the video. But I would not rule out public opinion because of how this game appeared to be shaking out on the feeds. I feel like if they would have came into this game, you feel me? If they would have came in here, you know, and not rewarded Tamar over Ricky, it would have looked pretty bad because it would have went against everybody's persona up until that point. John has a reason to not like Ricky. Ryan has a reason not to like Ricky through John as proxy. Joey Lawrence went out of his way to say Tamar was the front runner to win the game, but she could have a fucked up jury. But because she was sitting next to Ricky, that never played its role. He had to vote for her as well. Okay. And then after her, who was after Joey Lawrence again? Yeah, who was after Joey Lawrence? It wasn't Tom. 1, 2, 3. It was 4 straight white. Oh, Kato Kalin. That's right. So then it was Kato. Okay. And Kato was on his nice guy. He was on his Mr. Nice Guy shit today. I peeped the game on that shit. He gave her a vote. I was shocked by that, but it makes sense now because when he went to go vote, he apologized over the spilt fish or whatever. He apologized about the spilt shrimp. And I was like, oh, that's him offering the olive branch there. A bit of a rebrand as he's voting. And then after that, of course, you got Eva. You got her. She went up. She didn't really make me think she was voting for Tamar at all, but she did. Then after her, it was Tom Green, and he just basically talked it off to who made him laugh. So he didn't really make it seem like he cared about strategy. Then after that, of course, you had Candy, who was gonna vote for her sister, and that's why she said, "I'm glad one of us two made it." And you know what? I felt that on a supernatural level. Not only was that her telling her sister, you know what? We both made the finale because we both let bygones be bygones, and we got a relationship that's bigger than this game. You feel me? So on that end, I felt that in my heart, right? And then on another perspective, I also felt the subtle shade she was throwing at Ricky. Because it's like, damn, dog. Like you cut me before the 4 just so you could go with my girl to the 2. Odds are you would have still won that comp at the 4 and still took her to the 2, okay? But at the end of the day, you didn't want me to be there at the 4 with you. So I'm just going to say I'm happy that both of us made it this far. And that to me was Katie basically telling Ricky, I don't fuck with you no more. I don't fuck with you. You know, now she said she ain't going to hold no grudges with people and she fuck with people for life. But listen, man, Candy Burris, she doesn't take me as a woman that is soft, that is sensitive. What I mean by that, I don't mean to say that in a toxic masculine way. I mean, she takes me as someone who you don't scare her easily. You don't break her down quickly, right? So I think she legitimately took it to an offense that Ricky would make a promise to her that, hey, we're going to be in the Final 4. And if I make sure I look out for you, you got me. And she actually told Julie she planned on keeping that promise, meaning she would have screwed Tamar out because Ricky looked out for her. So that explains also why she was so mad at Ricky, because he even made her contemplate backstabbing Tamar, who would have never backstabbed her. And I think that's where the emotion came from. And I think that's also why when she casted that vote, what she said was so powerful to me. That truly resonated. And I think it resonated to a lot of Black people as they was watching that. I mean, truthfully, man, like to all the kids that are watching this show, man, they now have a bar to at least aspire to chase. And that means something, man. I can't say that enough. That means something. Like this win was bigger than just what it was on the surface. Way bigger. And that's why I hold people accountable that ain't covering this game just because a Black person's gonna win it. The type of bitch you gotta be to cover a game based off the color of the person that's winning. I've covered 3 seasons of Big Brother before this one, right? Have I ever stopped covering a season just because a white person was guaranteed to win? That's the difference. So for all the people that try to say, oh, everything's about race with you, hey, I stick around when white people got the game by the balls. I stick around and I still call the game how I see it. I don't disappear. And y'all can say whatever y'all want about me being this or that, but you can say one thing, oh, I'm always here. I don't hide. I'm not no punk. And that's what's really real here. Because there's a lot of people when that smoke come, when that heat come, they'll bring someone Black to help them host some shit to hide from that smoke, but they won't admit they were wrong. And see, that's my problem. If you don't have it in you to admit when you're wrong, then you're not the person to call me out ever in your life. All right. That's what's really popping in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Hell to the No asks the question, Dave, looking back now, do you think it was a good idea Tamar did not win the bat swing HOH, which kept her from choosing a side? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I'm telling y'all, Tamar threw a lot of competitions on purpose. That's what makes this a master class. She won all the comps she needed to win, besides that one comp during that live veto episode where she wanted to backdoor Eva and Lolo won the veto and kept noms the same, which led to Kato leaving. Besides that eviction, besides that one, she was good on good standing. And because she followed through with the plan of nominating Kato and Tom and making sure one of them left, and because she didn't win the veto and she never was in that moment to betray Lolo, Eva, and Ricky, it also contributed later down the road when she didn't use the veto again to put Dina up because they still trusted her. So no matter how you look at it, when she was HOH, she made the right moves to be HOH, and then the next week lay low. She made the right moves to lay low the next exact week. And then after that, she played a masterclass, man. A masterclass. You feel me? TaMartyrdom, man. Like, hashtag that shit. For real. Miss Mary Sim asks Dave, where can I get a shirt? You know what, Miss Mary Sims? in light of all of the bullshit that is going on in this community with everybody accusing everybody of running scams and stuff, personally, I think it would have been in bad taste for me to start selling merchandise. In the future, I will look into it. But for now, I don't want to even appear like somebody who is trying to beg for money. I don't want to appear like somebody who is that thirsty. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to be seen in that same group. And that's not me knocking people who sell merch. That's not me knocking them. That's just my decision. Okay. But yes, I will look into it in the future. Okay. But I just think for now, it is the wisest decision to let shit die down a bit. Enjoy this black win. All right. This black magic. Okay. And we can jump into that in the future, because right now I want to make a Queen Tamar shirt, but see, now you're dealing with copyright and shit like that, so I can't go down that route. So at the end of the day, if we do something, it will be RBR based, but I will get back to y'all on that. You know what I'm saying? But I just think for now, you know, it's wise to just play the game the way we've been playing it. I don't see this being bad at all right now. You know what I'm saying? So in due time, ladies and gentlemen, in due time. Kato fucked Ryan. What's going on in this chat? Damn, it's cracking. Huh? Damn, it's cracking. Or maybe he meant Ricky. Starlight Sparkle. Shout out to Miss Starlight Sparkle. She asked the question, do you see Ryan, Joey, Kato, Tom, or Nim and Lolo going to the Amazing Race? I think there's a chance Kato and Tom could go to the Amazing Race. And I think there's a chance even Lolo. Ryan, not so much. He got to start training. Well, actually, Lolo's got to train too. I guess if I use that excuse, I can't use that for her, right? But I think if CBS is smart, they pick up Candy and Tamar for the Amazing Race. I think if they're smart, I mean, come on. How do you not keep those two together now? Like this is legitimately the best tag team. I mean, when you talk about people that cover each other's blind spots, these two do it as good as any duo in recent memory. As good as any duo. Now, Brittany and Sarah had each other's back, but they had hella twists and shit. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to knock them as a duo. But at the end of the day, Godfrey still should have won that shit. But that's neither here nor there. You know, Godfrey was the guy who got Rickied before Ricky. If we want to be real about it, Godfrey got Rickied before Ricky. But I still believe to this day, Godfrey played a better game than Sarah. He just didn't play as flashy of a game. You feel me? So that's my answer to that question. So I'm willing to take two more questions, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll let y'all go and enjoy y'all night. You feel me? I'm definitely finna turn the fuck up for Queen Tamar, coach. Damn, it's midnight. Oh, shit. I forgot it was 2 parts to this rant. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here thinking like I went all the way through, like in succession. Do you think Tom... Okay, Romeo Dude Plays asked the question, do you think Tom was wrong to target Ricky even though he was right? Ricky was very strategic and good at comps. He absolutely was wrong because like I told y'all a long time ago, when all the Tom fans was trying to dick ride him and give him credit for wanting Ricky out, I was the main guy saying, why are you targeting Ricky when you can beat him at the end? I was the main guy saying that over and over and over again. But for whatever reason, Tom didn't see it. Tom kept assuming if Ricky gets to the end, he has enough merit to win just because Tom keeps viewing Ricky through the lens of who he was week 1. He forgot that there was more weeks to the gameplay in which Ricky did have a few bad moves. He could have preyed on that. You know what I'm saying? And if Tom was at the end with Ricky, it would have been another unanimous. And that's why, you know, I think Ricky deserved 1 vote tonight, but see, that's what happens, man. You don't pick Lolo to go with you. You get no votes, coach. I think if he would have picked Lolo, though, I think there's a chance he gets 1 vote. Like I said, I think he gets 1, you know? So it is what it is. It is what it is, you know? But yeah, man, I'm just happy that both queens, they both got the credit they were due. They both are revered as great game players. And see, if there's ever a celebrity Big Brother US All-Stars, I mean, this is going to be a tough. Who do you leave out? You almost have to use a 20-person cast because, in my opinion, Candy, Tamar, Lolo, and Ricky have to all come back. And then Omarosa got to come too. That's 5 black folks. You got to at least bump up the cast to 20 to make it 1/4. Otherwise, if it's them 5 versus another 10, they're going to steamroll again. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if they ever do an all-star celebrity season, understand the majority of confirmed all-stars from both seasons are black. I mean, that's factual. You know, who would have thought after witnessing Ron Artest and Keisha Knight Pulliam be a total train wreck in their season, we would get, I mean, such a magnificent season. I'm really in like lost for words, man. But that's why I'm worried for 21, man. I'm very worried. I'm very worried. You feel it, dig me? But yeah, man, y'all definitely get turned tonight. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'll take one more question. From Romeo. Damn, Romeo coming through with these questions. Yeah, this will be the final question, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank all of you before I answer this question for a great season. I want to thank all of you for your continued support. I want to thank all of y'all for jumping on code when I didn't know if y'all would. Understand that meant so much to me in that moment, more than I can put into words. And hopefully we can continue this code onto more seasons with more numbers, because I think once people see how connected we are as a group, how tight we are, more people will want to be part of this. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, this is an addictive group to be a part of. Because together, I believe we have some of the funniest conversations in these chats. Type of conversations I can't even like revel in and laugh at until after I've already done recorded, and then I'll watch it on demand, and then I'm going through the chat and go, oh, they said that this motherfucker funny. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, so let's get to the final question, man. The final question to end Celebrity Big Brother US Season 2, the legendary season, the season of Tamar, the TaMartyrdom strategy masterclass. Romeo asked the question, what about the fact that he was afraid of the girls were telling Ricky everything, and they were? I'm assuming you're speaking of Tom being afraid that the women were telling Ricky everything, and that meant Ricky was somehow in control because he had all of the information. At the end of the day, Tom was right a little bit, but also take into account, Tom also thought Ricky was the one commanding those women to do stuff. The women shared that information with Ricky because they were in a 3. It wasn't because Ricky was on top of the 3. In fact, they were the ones who protected Ricky the majority of the game. They were the ones who had the majority of the power, at least while Eva was in the game. When Eva was in the game, Ricky was actually on the bottom of their alliance. The minute Eva left, Lolo had no other option, was forced to work with Ricky exclusively pretty much, and she was forced to basically bury the hatchet with Tamar, even though she didn't want to. And she knew that Tamar played a role in her girl going home, but she didn't have a choice because she needed the numbers, and Tamar created the majority. So yeah, so at the end of the day, yeah, Tom may have been right about some things, but he was very wrong about a lot more things. And that's how I choose to look at it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 15th and final rant of Celebrity Big Brother US Season 2. I am your humble host, Dave Smith, and this is Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. And this rant has been entitled TaMartyrdom. If you could, please like, share, and subscribe. And on the right side of my channel's page, click on that bell. That way you could be here with the most lit live chat in Celebrity Big Brother US history. But I guess now we got to say BB Can 7 history. So I truly appreciate all of y'all coming through and spending the last 2 hours with me after we just spent another 2 hours watching the finale. I truly appreciate it. And at the end of the day, this is Adolf Stanos logging out. And I will see you guys early March, first week of March for BB Can 7. Let's get it popping, man. So at the end of the day, keep them takes hot, baby, and keep that same energy. I'm outie.